My name is Anthony Wayne Jones Jr., and I'm exec sous chef at Red Rooster Overtown.
Hey, it's Kellen. And today on Diversified Game, you guys are in for a treat because I'm going to feed you with business, but I'm also going to feed you when you come to Miami. And I know all of you want to come to Miami. You'll know where to go. Red Rooster. When you see this young chef, you'll say, hold on, that's a young guy. Man, and he still has his hair, good hairline. So, he's doing his thing. I got Chef Anthony Jones of the Red Rooster. And don't get it confused, folks. Red Rooster in Miami is different than Red Rooster anywhere else. So, welcome, Chef. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Kellen. Thank you very much for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Blessed.
Man, you are blessed by the best. Being a young chef, tell the people, how has the journey been? Because you were running things, and that's my eye. He's telling folks, do this, do that. And he's not Gordon Ramsay being rude about it. He's really running the Red Rooster, which, folks, if you go to please don't think you're going to get a discount or a deal. You need to come with your full wallet and be prepared because it's fine dining. But how did you get, started with, the cooking and then becoming a chef and then really running the place?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so like pretty much for most of my life, I wanted to, have a hands-on job, whether it be plumbing like my father or something to do with plants like botany. And it wasn't until pretty much tail end of middle school, I saw an episode of the original Iron Chef, the Japanese version, and just like seeing them and how they work with food and how they handle food, that just it opened my mind to a brand new possibility that I never could have imagined. And like literally ever since then, like I remember the next day I went to school and I told my science teacher, I was like, Miss Miller, I think I'm going to change up, my programs, my classes. I'm going to go for culinary. And like she literally called my grandmother that same day after school and was like worried, crying over the phone, like, I can't believe it. Anthony's changing his careers up, blah, blah. But yeah, ever since then, I've literally been doing nothing but cooking, focusing on food 110%.
Well, it's one thing because my first job, I was a waiter, and then I actually got to cook a little bit, and had various jobs as a young person. Before
Right.
I could, real young. You might not even been born. Black don't crack. But but it's one thing to like maybe get a position. But what was your like first job in a restaurant?
Oh, my first job, I was literally slinging pizzas at Lido Pizza back home in Calvert County. So yeah, that was my first job. I was your average pizza boy, rolling out all the dough, flour everywhere, tomato sauce, like just it was crazy.
And can you tell people, because now I know your salary has gone way up. How did you what was the start? Because people sometimes think, man, give them the game.
No, like it's funny. I like, especially now, because I always tell cooks, and I just try and educate people that like the money eventually will always come to you as long as you have the skill set and the dedication to achieve it. Like you can't just expect out the gate to make $80,000, whether you went to school or not. There's still, especially in our profession, you have to do that grind to a certain degree. Like you have to fight for it. And my first paycheck, I was like working 30 hours a week. I think it was maybe $250, maybe at best. Minimum wage was like $5 or $6 back then. So like my first check was nothing. But to me it was the world. But in like hindsight, it was nothing.
Wow. So do not disregard small beginnings, folks. That check, and I'm sure you learned a lot. After that, where did you elevate or move to? Because you did people are gonna Google you and they're gonna say, well, he got $10,000 and he was the chop champion. Of course he's there. So they're just gonna think that you went from pizza to $10,000 and that sweet. So what was the next step after that?
Yeah, no. So obviously, like I stayed at Lido's for quite a few years. The manager, the gentleman that owned the building, he was a great boss. He had a great skill set in managing people. When he saw potential, like he would give his time and attention to you. And he actually helped me grow within the company. I became kitchen manager at, like, I think 18 years old. So like it was, he gave me a good amount of responsibility at such a young age, and he just helped nurture that. And literally, after high school, I took a year off to travel and have some fun a little bit, and then went right into college. Went to Johnson Wales, the Charlotte campus. Went there, graduated my 2 years, and I literally came back home. Believe it or not, I came back to good old Calvert County, Southern Maryland, and started working again. I called on my boss. Obviously, he's like, of course I have a job for you, but I don't think it's going to be fun. But I went back to slinging pizzas and cooking steaks and stuff like that, and I found an opportunity at a restaurant. It was pretty much the only fine dining establishment we had back home back then. It was West Lawn Inn. So I went in there, applied as Sue. I got the position, and I worked hard. I worked under Christopher Higgs, and he doesn't work in the business anymore. But I give Chris. He's one of the foundations, one of the pillars to helping me become the man and the chef that I am today, because he drilled into me what a hard work ethic is and what a proper chef should be. That man was on the line with me every day, every day. If I was there, he was there, and he would get in there before I would even get into the door. We washed dishes together, pots and pans together, cooked the line together, screamed at each other when we got angry. But like he's literally my brother to this day. Like, I have so much respect for him, and everything I accomplish from now until the end of time, he will always get credit for it.
Now, you talked about seeing TV and being inspired. So parents out there, don't think kids don't learn. I remember back in the day, TV can't teach you nothing. It's the idiot box. Okay, my whole business is because of what I saw in that idiot box, and we
Right.
revamped it to the YouTubes, the TikToks, and the different platforms, and
Exactly.
your own server. But tell the people, how real is it when we see chefs, yelling back and forth? We know who is famous for it, Gordon Ramsay, but is that all for TV, or does it really get hot and heavy like that?
I mean, you have to imagine, like, the kitchen it's a hot space. All the equipment is 450 degrees or hotter. So it is a humid just box of heat, frustration, stress, sweat, XYZ, different personalities, all bundled together. And there are moments when you get angry and you get frustrated. But and not every kitchen's the same. Some kitchens, you always have that one or two yellers, the ones that are always going to yell, always going to scream, no matter how small or big the issue might be. But my mindset has always been, and mainly because of my upbringing, you treat others how you want to be treated. And I will never yell at an individual during service or outside of service, because that's not the respect that I want to receive. So I make sure that I always give them their due respect. Now, if they mess something up, trust me, they're not getting away scot-free. We're gonna have a talk after the shift. We're gonna have a one-on-one and just go over it and talk it out. We're adults. But like, at no point in time in my life do I want to belittle someone to gain anything.
Oh, that's good, because it doesn't take all of that, especially when you're talking about a team. Now, many people think, they say chefs, is it male dominated? And of course, in the household, people think women run things, but men are the best chefs. I'm saying that because I feel like a sous chef. I carry a title as chef at times in my house, though, right? So with the Me Too movement and how things are going, are you seeing more women? And also, chefs are known for being a little randy and frisky. How has that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the restaurant industry, especially in kitchens, that's always been a tough history for us. And in no way, shape, or form is it appropriate, but the kitchen is a weird dynamic of bandits, pirates, savages, and saints. Like, we're kind of just all mixed in there. And it's as I was saying earlier, it's not condoned, and it shouldn't be the case. But like, luckily for me personally, like, I'm blessed with a strong female leadership team actually at Red Rooster, where predominantly like it's almost a 50-50 split for us
Okay.
between males and females. And right now we have two back house managers, two female chefs, and they help me run the restaurant amazingly.
No, when you said Pirates, anybody, I
Yeah,
have more listeners than anything. But for
right.
those who are watching on YouTube, I am wearing the Orlando Pirates jersey, Soweto, South Africa. Stand up. It's all good. Sabona. But with that whole dynamic, being a young person, I'll tell you a story. Never told this story on air before. When I was 16, 15, 16, later, I got sexually harassed every day by
Yeah,
Miguel at Coco's, but he never touched me. And he always was, hey, Kellen. He had a Hispanic guy. Hey,
yeah,
Kellen, your muscles. And I was working out, football player and all that, right? But
right.
we didn't know what sexual harassment was the way we know
Yeah,
it now. And we're just
exactly.
like, hey, how has that dynamic been? Because I've had other situations where things get, misinterpreted. And you're like, no, but we're having conversation. The kitchen, the restaurant, it's fun. How have you dealt with that as a young man, black young
Yeah,
man? And
yeah,
now you're running things.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely difficult, because you don't want to say anything that could be misinterpreted, like you just said. So, you're always thinking very carefully about everything you say, how you phrase it, how you word it, how it's structured before you even deliver it. Like if I do have to have a conversation with a staff member, and if it happens to be a female, then obviously, just not necessarily for my own sake, but for that staff member's sake, I want them to feel as comfortable as possible. So I always make sure there's another female staff member available or just around, like right there in that spot, because at no point in time do I want anyone to feel comfortable talking to me or socializing, because at the end of the day, I am their boss, but we're literally on the same ship, the same team, trying to accomplish the same goal together. And I just want us to just get there at that finish line and just be happy and just be able to look back at everything we accomplished. So that would be my advice if I was trying to give it to anyone, is just always try and put yourself in their shoes. And just because you might feel comfortable, you always have the perception that they don't have your upbringing, they don't have your history and your background. So it's you have to be knowledgeable and reciprocate that respect and those boundaries.
And for those of you who maybe never worked in a restaurant, or your mind doesn't go into left field like mine can, let me give you an
Right.
example. If, Anthony is being told, hey, how do you like the cake? And say, well, it's really not moist. Well, you like it more, Anthony? I love it moist. It has to be that. That could be taken nowadays into,
Oh,
he
for
said
sure.
he liked it. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. No, yeah,
So,
there's some certain words that are just like triggers. You have to be careful on. You know what? I'm gonna use this one instead. Just so you can sidestep those type of situations.
some people may think every chef wants to actually own a restaurant. I know that not to be true with all the stress, double bypasses, triple bypasses chefs have had before.
Yeah.
For you, not even being 35 yet, do you want to have your own restaurant? What's the goal for you?
So yeah, so I do want to have my own project, one or two, one day, up and running. But it's I always think I'm not ready. There's always something else I need to work on, something else I need to improve on, or something I'm missing, for me to take that final step and actually uh, take the leap. But no, hopefully one day I'll have a restaurant, and I already have the mindset, the plan, everything built out, the menus, the layout. It's just putting it all into action.
Now, the confidence part, that is, nobody who's great ever is greater perfect. You're never perfect till you transition. And then everyone, oh, he was the greatest ever, right?
Yeah.
So we got to get that part out, because you are where you are because you are great and it's in you. And we all have things to improve. I look at being a chef, being a comedian, you're going to have some off nights. How do you deal with that? Because a comedian, okay, I can jump back on stage 30 minutes later. Being a chef, it's like, thing wasn't right, whether they caught it or not, I know, but that's the best that I have. Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you're always there. There's always that split second of second guessing, and it's hard, especially when you're cooking, because pretty much everyone believes or thinks that they can cook, and and a good amount of people can. Cook. I always tell everyone, cooking isn't hard. Like, that's not the hardest part of my job. Cooking is easy. I love it. I was like, it is the consistency to it. Like, to be able to put out 100 perfect plates one at a time, sure, whatever. But to do over 100 for 8 hours straight with XYZ pressure under these circumstances, it is the consistency and the outside elements. And and in the kitchen, if something gets sent back to us, that's like the ultimate heartbreak. It brings us the most joy to see a smile on someone's face when they take a bite out of something that you made. But when they make a frown, oh my God, it's like, it's like one of the worst feelings ever, because not only did, you let them down, you let yourself down too, because, you pretty much put a piece of your soul on that plate. There was art on that plate. There was love on that plate. And unfortunately, it just didn't translate over. And now you start reworking it or rethinking it to yourself, like, what did I do wrong? But it could have just been a matter of perception. So,
and from the kitchen, and you guys would have to see how the kitchen is open air. You really think you could be in a TV show if they wanted to make one there? That's a hint if they haven't done it already. But but can you see, like, from the kitchen, the expression on the face, and you can tell even while you're in the zone?
oh yeah, no, we're 100% paying attention, man. Don't think that we're not noticing everything within our view. We are 100% focused, no matter what the case might be. Like, I'll be expoing, as you saw me when you were in, and I'll turn around. I'm always examining the dining room to see, is that table almost done, or, oh, they got dirty silver, dirty plates, we need to get this swapped out real quick. But like, if I ever see anyone like pushing food back and forth on the plate, I am like instantly going over to that table, have a talk with them, because there's something wrong, and it might not be us and it might not be them, but there's something wrong, and there's a disconnect, and that has to be fixed. Because the most important thing is, if in our industry, in our profession, we're trying to give you an experience, where we're trying to enrich your life, and that's our main goal. And if we're unable to do that, we're gonna, hell or high water, we're gonna find a way to make this shit work.
Now, talking about making things work, you know, you cook in a place where it's a celebrity chef. People are coming in here that look like me, like, oh, I want some soul food. And, I can't fly to New York and go to Justin's if Puffy even still has it open, right?
Right.
Because he can shut it down anytime, or whether it's in Atlanta or New York now. I don't know. It's been a minute. But cooking appropriation. Most of the staff look like us, most of the, many of the chefs, but I mean, you can almost teach somebody to cook anything. I have found that, Koreans now call their food soul food.
Right.
Cool. We got what your capital is. But when Black people open up a Chinese place, let's say in Los Angeles, Black folks are opening up a Chinese place, or down in Stewart, in Martin County, you open up a pizza place. It's like, do you think there's even a such thing as cooking appropriation, or should we all be able to cook whatever the heavens will, because we're that good?
So I think that is all a matter of perception, and for me, like, food is like music. It's one of those great things to where it can link any nationality, any ethnicity, any culture, any background, any religion. Like, food brings people together. It is like the great gatherer of sorts. And I would happily take anyone's interpretation of soul food, just because I would love to see how their life and how the things that they have experienced in their life has been translated onto the plate. How I make collard greens is way different than how my grandmother made collard greens. She probably wouldn't even eat my collard greens if she saw some of the stuff I put in them. She'd be like, fish sauce. What the hell's fish? What? No, that doesn't. No, But it's like it's one of those things to where it's food is so pliable and malleable like a soul, and just to try and put it into a box, I think is unfair to food itself, but also the people that love cooking it. I know plenty of people who aren't black who can fry chicken better than me. And it's I'm asking them, like, so what kind of flour did you use? Like, what's going on? And it's because everyone has a trick. Every culture has a technique or something new, and I just want to learn it all. So it doesn't bother me who you are or what you are. You cook amazing food. I want to have it. I want you to teach me, please.
Okay, and I have to ask that question because now that I even think about it, I saw, I guess Paula Patton got some stuff about how she fried some chicken, and I'm
Yeah.
like, really news? Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't her mother white? And does that matter? Okay, if she didn't wash the chicken, that matters. But that is it's just like a silly argument, because when you hear a Robin Thicke or Adele come on, half the time you don't know until
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
but but it has to go both ways, because if we want to cook food,
Right.
let's cook Mexican food. It's bueno.
Yeah.
But now the best is yet to come for you, because you're still, again, young. You haven't even hit half of your goals before you're 40. I'm gonna put that much pressure on you. What is a community give back that you are doing or that you would like to do in the future?
So it's a good thing that you say that. Like, whenever I go back home, I always find time to dedicate at least a day or two to my old high school and my career center, because I like to donate hours to the staff and to the kids there. When I was working back home in DC, my instructor, she would, whichever kids that she felt were, the most exceptional, she would literally send them up to me, on their off days from school or after hours or on weekends, and I would help them train for competitions, for states and regionals, or I would just help them improve, or just nurture and tutor them. So that's something that I would like to continue to keep doing. Even now in Miami or wherever I go next. I have a friend. She teaches at Miami-Dade, and we get to go back and forth. And every time, whenever I have some free time, I'll pop in for a class and just talk and work with students. For me, I think that would be my goal, is my gift, is just to help the next generation of cooks and chefs, because I just things things are changing, for better for worse. Things are changing, especially on the food scene, and I just I want to be part of it, and I want to just see the next generation grow.
Now, since you brought up teaching, are we going to ever see you maybe do your own curriculum? Because I tell people, monetize your life. So if you're teaching students, why not put the Pivo camera with the tripod and capture that? Or maybe, you meet enough people in the restaurant where you call the full film team from Black Ink Miami.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to be doing this. Like, would you ever put some courses together, or even have some, classes where people can come learn from you?
Sure. I mean, like, it's funny because whenever you're in the kitchen, you're literally learning and teaching every day. Sometimes you're the teacher, and some days you're the student. It really, really depends on the situation. But like, for me, I would love to do it just to do it. It doesn't have to be a TV or a camera behind it. It's one of those good deeds that deep down you know what you're doing is good, and for the betterment of a human being. So who knows. Who knows?
Okay, I want you guys to go to Anthony Jones _92 and put the pressure on, because everybody seems to be, whether it's on Groupon or on their website, and things just grow. And I've had other chefs on, and they're like, I liked having my own restaurant, but I really like getting paid $16,000 a night, and I can kind of pick and choose when I want to work. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice paycheck for one night of work. So I just asked that, and I want the, let the people
Yeah.
push you for that. The
Well, I'm actually one of like the weird chefs. Like for me personally, I love the restaurant sitting. I love the the four walls, the brick and mortar. Because for me it's a dance, and it's chaos all going on at the same time. And I don't get that same feeling, unfortunately, when I'm outside of the restaurant. When I'm teaching, it's one feeling. When I'm in the restaurant, it's a totally different feeling. But like when I'm outside, it's just not the same, because it doesn't have that same combination of going, like the stress, the chaos, the beautifulness of the experience, the scenery, the sitting. Like it's amazing how like it's a web and it all works together.
Wow. Okay. So Anthony has told, if he is single, he has told y'all he likes a little chaos. It's a lot of you who love chaos run to and bother with that, So yeah, the chaos, he can deal with all the drama and the this and that. Yes, he needs to stay, stay alive. I got it. I got it. Can you tell the people how you got your, current position? Were you recruited? Did you apply? How did that work?
So I applied. I was working in DC, and I was coming down to Miami to make a move, change things up a bit. And I worked with a recruiting agency, and they filtered out a few places for me. And they were like, "Oh, they're like, there's a chef from New York, and he's putting a concept down in Miami. You might be interested, you might not." I was like, "Oh, what is it?" They're like, "Oh, it's Red Rooster." I said, "Marcus Samuelson." They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "You know what? Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's jump on it, because you never know." And so I applied. I got my position, but unfortunately, the build out of the restaurant got delayed. So I worked at a few other restaurants here in Miami until Red Rooster finally opened.
Wow, wow, just like that. So it could happen for you guys wherever you are, just to apply. Because sometimes people will put you on a pedestal and say it must be nice, Anthony, to work under, and it must be, how people can get,
Yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
our folks.
No, for
Right.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, right after that, they say, "Hey, you got a couple dollars I can borrow."
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's luckily and happily I can say that with Marcus and working with Marcus, it's you get what you put in. It's and he will help and nurture you every step of the way. But like you have to want it. That hunger has to be there. No one can make you hungry. Either you are or you aren't. And the people that are the hungriest, they are willing to grind and do those hours and put in the work and the dedication to achieve whatever goal that they want to accomplish.
well, talking about that hunger, let's say for the 15-year-old kid who says, I don't even want to go to school. I really know how to do this and I'm good. And or maybe the 17-year-old kid. I knew
Right.
guys at 17 who are working at, very nice restaurants in the Bay Area. And
Yeah.
I know what I know. Do you think you have to go to school to be, to be great?
Right. I honestly, I don't believe that you have to go to school, because not everyone functions and operates in a school setting. Everyone learns differently. So I think it's unfair to say that you need schooling to be successful, because if the drive is there, if the compassion is there, if if the mindset is there, then school or not, you're going to accomplish what the hell you want to accomplish. And like you said, there are plenty of badass chefs and cooks out there who never attended school and who have accomplished amazing things. So it's you just have to go in it with the mindset of, I may not know everything, and that's fine. Like, just be honest with yourself. I don't know everything, and I learn stuff every day. But you have to be open to learning every day. Be willing to take that ass kicking on a Saturday night shift because you didn't do something properly, but learn from it. Like, don't keep making the same mistake over and over again. Learn from those mistakes.
No, this is great. I might end with this question. I want to know, for all those people, so before they even come into the restaurant and they say,
Right.
you know what, I'm about to open up a diner. Let me see if I can take Anthony on, or I have a cruise ship and I want to see if I can take him away, because great people are always being pulled in every direction. Anthony, I got X amount of dollars, can you come do my thing? Right now you seem very comfortable. You seem like you're still, you're learning and you're getting so much, game and influence in a great city. To those people who will say, let me see if I can pull you away to open up my Denny's, what would you say to them? Before they come to you, what would you say?
I would say, thank you for, first off, thank you. I'm very appreciative of that opportunity and of that offer. Whatever the case might be. But I'm also very, very stubborn, sadly. And, I can't leave any project until I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. And I haven't done that yet with Rooster. So, it's still, I still have plans. It's still a work in progress on certain things I want to get done. I'm always open to talk to anyone about anything. I'll never tell anyone no, definitely. But for right now, I'm happy at Rooster. I'm happy with Marcus. I'm happy with the team. It's a great team, and I'm still building the team, and I'm looking forward to watching them grow some more.
Man, this is beautiful. I can't wait to see those even come over across to Africa. You pick 54 countries. We need it before others try to come and put their roots down, because it's so much sweeter, you guys, in Africa. I tell you this, come join us on one of our tours, or just come join us, period. But I thank you for coming on. Let the people know where they can connect with you.
Yeah, so as you said, Anthony Jones _92 on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I don't really have much more social media. I'm actually very bad at it, to be honest. I do need to work on that some more. And I'm always at the restaurant. If you ever want to come in, say hi, ask me a question or whatever, I'm always easily approachable.
And I concur with that. And that's a beautiful thing, because some folks would have, had their beret, not that he had a beret, in their scarf and said, you think I talk during dinner service? So very approachable young man. You guys, whether you are listening on iHeart, iTunes, or our latest partner at AYV Radio in Freetown, Sierra Leone, or even YouTube, kick up. Make sure you share this game with somebody. It will change their life. Be blessed, y'all.
Hi guys, I'm Kai Gabiam from the Diaspora channel, a lover of Africa. If you love Africa as well, and you would love to visit one day or to relocate to Africa, there is a course out there for you. And this course is My First Trip to Africa, a course well put together by a seasoned traveler, Kellen Cash Coleman. This course is designed to prepare you to travel better, which will save you both time and money. And the great news is this course costs only $20, guys. It can't get any better. Go right now and enroll to this course at www.diversifiedgame.com. Don't miss out.